This is the plaintiff, Sandra Kawar. She says she went to the defendant, a dentist, because she needed a new set of dentures. When she received them, however, they were too big for her mouth. She went back 5 times for adjustments. She's fed up with feeling like she has marbles on cotton in her mouth and is suing for the return of her $1,567. This is the defendant, Ronald. He says he's been practicing the art of dentistry for 37 years, and he's quite shocked by this lawsuit because the plaintiff never complained about the dentures he made for her. Now, a year later, all of a sudden, she doesn't like the fit or look of her teeth? This lawsuit's hogwash and has nothing to do with him, and he owes the plaintiff zip. He's accused of making a bad set of choppers.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
People's Court next case in the docket. The plaintiff went to the defendant, a dentist, for dentures, but says the dentures don't fit. The defendant says with 37 years under his belt, she's got the nerve. It's the case of the dentist who broke the mold.
Have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Sandra Kawar?
Yes.
Okay, you are suing, you're a dentist. Ronald, you've asked us to only refer to you by your first name, so we'll respect that, for $1,567, the amount that you paid for dentures that you say do not fit.
Yes.
What happened?
I joined a dental plan back in January of 2011, and the defendant was a participant on the plan, and I contacted him because his location was close to where I live and close to where I work. And I went, and on the first visit to his office, we discussed the dentures and the price, and I told him I have a very small mouth. Can he make the new dentures the same size as my present dentures? And he said, no problem, that would never be a problem. But unfortunately, they're not.
Okay, did you bring him the dentures
I was wearing them.
You were wearing them. So
yes,
he took them out, he looked at them.
Absolutely.
I assume he did a mold of your mouth,
he
not
did
someone
2
else.
impressions,
Right.
which was good. He said he always does 2 impressions to make sure they come out correctly. But as I stated before, I do have a small mouth, and I feel that the mold he used was too large for my mouth. And when he took it out after the plaster settled and all, it sort of wasn't settled. And when we first got the dentures, at least five times, I told him I can't wear them. You know, he filed them down. They were too thick. The gum part, the teeth were fine. The gum part was way thicker than what I had. And he filed them down, and he tried, and each time he would say, okay, come back in a couple of days, and I did, and he would give me the same, you have to adjust to them. Yes, of course, I know that. I couldn't adjust to them. I felt like I had a mouthful of marbles. I felt like I was gagging when I ate. Oh. There was sort of no room for food in my mouth. And the distance from the top to the bottom, my jaw didn't close sufficiently. And he says it's off by 2 or 3 millimeters. He says, and they're allowed to be off by 2 or 3 millimeters. But I think what he doesn't understand, that anything too large in the mouth is very exaggerated. I mean, if you've ever had a filling before they file it down, it feels like a big mountain in your mouth.
Right. Well,
and that's how I feel about the teeth. But
I guess 2 or 3 millimeters are permitted if it's not your own mouth. It's someone else's mouth. Yes. All right. But okay. So how do you leave it with him?
Well, I took them. I had no choice because he kept insisting, you will adjust. That's all I kept hearing from him.
So did you ever say to him, I want my money back?
No. I felt it would have been a dead issue because he felt that he made a perfect set of teeth.
Okay. Do you have the set of teeth he made
here? Yes, I do.
May I see them?
What prompted me to at this point, a year later, do something about it, as far as I was concerned, I just marked it off as a loss, and that's that, and go on from there. I was shopping in a supermarket, and I met the nurse that he had in his office when I was a patient. And the first thing she said to me was, you could wear the dentures? I said, no, I can't. Why do you ask? She says, I never liked the forms that he used to take the impression.
Huh. All right. Can I see those dentures?
Sure.
By the way, did you end up having to get your dentures made by somebody else?
No, I'm still wearing my old ones.
The old ones.
I'm much in need for new dentures.
Okay.
I
suppose I do. Thank you.
They're in a plastic bag.
What's going on?
In the one with the red.
You only have one mouth, so
Yeah.
what's?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I brought an old set of dentures.
Oh, to see the
so
size?
you would have a comparison
got
as to
it.
the width of the gums,
Okay, and
especially the bottom.
which is the one he
That's
made?
the new one. That's
This is the one
ones
he made
that-
is in the red.
Yes.
Okay, and then the old set of dentures are
That's
these.
number one set of dentures.
And do you use these or you don't use?
No, I have a second set.
Okay,
which
so you
I
just kept
wanted
these in
to-
a drawer. So, all right, doctor, will you tell me what's going on?
I did my exam and followed the guidelines that I teach at the residency program. I use the same guidelines that the ADA recommends for dentures. Went through the entire procedure, delivered the dentures. Patient came back for adjustments, which is not unusual in most cases.
Right.
I never
How many times
charged-
does she come back for adjustment?
She came back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
5 times.
In your answer to the complaint, you said she never once said she was displeased with the dentures, and she never complained they didn't fit properly.
Right.
She went back to your office 5 times for adjustments. So how could that be that she never said she was displeased or that they didn't fit properly?
When you fabricate dentures, in quite a few instances, the tissue rubs against, it's plastic. I mean, you're putting plastic in your mouth, basically. There are a lot of variables, the patient's jaw size, whether or not they can tolerate dentures or not. The most difficult patients are those that have prior dentures because over a period of time, the dentures wear and they get used to a certain position after a while, which theoretically is not the proper position. I don't want to get technical for centric and things like that. So what we do is, she was talking about 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters is actually the accepted distance of change when a patient comes in with a prior set of dentures so that they won't be uncomfortable. You don't exceed that number. You don't have to make them that number, but it has to be within that guidelines.
Okay, without getting too technical, these are way bigger.
Okay.
I mean, way bigger. Not like a little, not a little bit bigger, way bigger. The part that goes up in the gums here, but that
the retromolar pad.
Why is that so hard to file down, though? Would that be hard to file down, or?
When a patient has lack of bone, you try to get as much retention as possible. Long term, it's better if they could tolerate that because the denture won't move as much. So I don't like to adjust anything too vigorously. I do a little each visit until I see the tissue responds properly. I have never refused the patient if they need a reline or if they need a tissue. What we do is use tissue conditioners to put in their mouth when they're not adjusting.
What's that?
It's a soft gel-like material that you put in the denture that hardens gradually over a period of time so you could see all the muscle attachments, and that allows for the muscles to move, and you could actually see how those muscles are moving and adjust the denture accordingly.
Did it ever get that far with her?
No, because she never addressed it to me. I would be more than willing to do different things. I want my patients to be happy.
You can still do that now, right?
Excuse me?
I mean, I know it's unpleasant because she sued you, but you could still do that now. Technically speaking, you could do that.
Technically, it can be done, sure, but she hasn't worn them for over a year. Tissue changes, but it can be done.
Court's in recess.
All rise.
I'm taking your teeth.
So she goes back 5 times for adjustments and the dentures still don't fit. Does she get her money back?
She should be under some type of agreement, but yes, she might need to get her money back.
Well, does she get it back? Should she get it back?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
How many times do you give the dentist to fix it right before you say you get the money back?
I'd say 3 at the max.
Okay, fair enough. And you're going to be the final word here.
I think she should get her money back. I mean, she's obviously not satisfied with the service, so that should be fair ground.
You say the customer is always right. We'll see going inside the courtroom.
You had these made a year and 3 months ago, and you have not gone to anyone else.
No.
I have to determine whether he did something wrong or whether you just have reached a point in your life where a pair of shoes that are worn in are never going to feel like a pair of shoes that are brand new. And sometimes you just don't want to break in a new pair because the other ones are really comfortable. And so we get sort of comfy. We're in our comfort zone. And I don't know about you, but the older I get, I really want to be comfortable. And there's certain things, I would wear a pair of 6-inch heels when I was young, and you're not going to catch me dead in those now. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out, and it's very hard to figure out from just what's in front of me whether he did something wrong or whether they're just not comfortable for you. I don't have you taking this set to another dentist. I don't have a dentist, statement saying that there's something wrong with these on your part. I just have you saying, I don't like these. These don't fit. They never fit. I tried to get them to fit. They don't fit right. I can't eat. I feel like I have marbles in my mouth. I don't want those. And then you were chalking it up, which acts like a person who said, maybe it was not such a good idea to get dentures after all, new dentures. Maybe I'll just stick with the ones I have, because it's what you ended up doing, sticking with the ones you have. That's where I have the problem. Now, let's figure out what to do from here on in.
Your Honor, I am always willing to help patients.
Is there something that can be done, or is there nothing that can be done?
There are things that can be done if she's willing to go through them. But if she can't wear her old dentures in the process, it's not going to work. If she's willing to do that, I am willing to do what I can do. I mean, I've been doing this for 35 years. I know what to do.
All right. On your lawsuit to recover the entire purchase price of the dentures, I rule in favor of the defendant. You still have the existing contract and guarantee that you had originally. I'm returning these to you, and it will be your choice whether to call the doctor and make follow-up appointments to attempt to do the rest of the things that he says are available, which you have indicated here on the record that is not only your obligation,
Absolutely.
but that you're more than happy to do. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
All right, hold on, please, both sides.
Well, the plaintiff gets her dentures back and does not win this lawsuit. Here, step next to me a little bit. Come on in here. The judge is giving you the opportunity to go back to the doctor. Now, you heard him say he knows what to do and he thinks he can help you. What are you going to do?
Well, my final visit with him was, there's nothing else I could do for you. You just have to adjust. Why would I go back?
Well, that's not what he said in here.
Well, you know what? Sometimes all truth does not come out.
All right. So are you going to give him another chance?
Absolutely not.
Well, what if he comes out here and I ask him and he invites you back into the office and says, please, I can fix these for you?
He said he took an impression of the denture I have. Why didn't he make the same size as
So what are you
I
going to do?
had?
Just throw those dentures out? What are you going to do?
Unfortunately, yes. Cut my
Really?
losses. I have no choice.
Well, you do have a choice. All right, right down there. All right. All right, so come on in here, Doc. You win this case, but that is one very unhappy customer right there, or patient.
Patient. As I said before, it's very difficult for people to have worn dentures prior to having a
Yeah, we
set
heard
made.
that.
Okay, well, what else can I say?
I don't know. What can you do for her? Are you going to reach out to her maybe?
I said if she wants to come back, I'll be willing to work with her.
So it's all on her. If she comes back, you help her.
Absolutely.
If she doesn't,
Absolutely.
you don't care.
Just like I've been helping patients for 30
If she doesn't come back, you don't care.
It's not that I don't care. That's her decision. I can't tell her she should come back.
Harvey?
It is so important to get expert testimony in a case like this, especially when you're going against an expert. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.